All right, let's talk crypto. When I say that word, what pops into your head? Probably Wall Street, right? Or maybe billionaires, super risky investments, that whole scene. Well, today we're going to flip that script completely. We're looking at a story that's playing out far, far away from all those headlines. This is the untold story of crypto in Africa.
So let's break this down. On one side, you've got the story we always hear. The traders, the hype, all that crazy speculation. But on the other side, that's the story that's actually real life for millions of people across Africa. For them, crypto isn't some high-stakes gamble. No way. It's a lifeline. It's a path to starting a business, and maybe, just maybe, a shot at real financial freedom.
And that's really the core of it, right? Our first big idea. For so many people, this isn't about wanting to get into crypto, it's about needing to. It's becoming this essential tool for survival. And you know why? Because the traditional systems, well, they just aren't cutting it.
So you have to ask, right? Why is crypto so much more than just money here? And to get that, you really have to understand the massive problems that millions of people are up against day in and day out.
Okay, this right here gets to the absolute heart of it. And look, we're not talking about small annoyances. We're talking about massive roadblocks to just living a stable life. I mean, can you imagine not having a bank account? Not having a safe place to keep your money? Or think about this. You work hard, you send some money home to your family, and a huge chunk of it just vanishes in fees. And on top of that, the savings you do have are losing value every single day because of inflation. This isn't some thought experiment. It's the daily reality for millions. And that's where crypto comes in. Not as a get-rich-quick scheme, but as a potential lifeline. So what happens when people face these huge barriers? Do they just sit around and wait for a solution? Nope, they build their own. And that is exactly what's happening. We're seeing this incredible innovation bubbling up from the ground level. So let's jump into 3 amazing stories that show you exactly how. Okay, first stop, Nigeria. You've got this massive young population that is super tech savvy. And what's happened there? Peer-to-peer crypto trading has just exploded. It's incredible. People are literally using their phones to trade directly with each other. They're cutting out the banks, cutting out the formal exchanges, all to pay for things, to save their money from inflation, and to get funds to family and friends. And this quote, wow, it just nails the reality on the ground. I mean, think about it. Why would a Bitcoin wallet on a phone be more valuable than cash in a bank? Well, because the closest bank might be hours or even a whole day's travel away, if there even is one. But your phone, it's right there in your pocket. It's your direct, instant connection to a global financial system.
All right, now let's switch gears completely. We're heading over to Kenya for a totally different story. Here, blockchain isn't just shaking up finance, it's starting a revolution and, of all places, farming.
So, how in the world does this work? It's actually pretty cool. Imagine a farmer can basically create a unique digital receipt for their harvest. Let's say a big crate of mangoes. That's what we mean by tokenizing. Then, they can sell that digital receipt, that token, to a buyer anywhere on the planet, maybe someone in London or Tokyo, and boom, the buyer now officially owns that crate of mangoes. All the middlemen, gone. And the payment, it zips directly and instantly into the farmer's pocket. Okay, for our last story, we're jumping down to South Africa. This one's all about the creative economy. We're talking artists, musicians, all kinds of creators who are using this tech to finally take control of their own work and build their own careers on their own terms. Now, you've probably heard of NFTs, and I know you're probably thinking of those goofy million-dollar monkey pictures. Just forget all that for a second. At its absolute core, an NFT is just a unique digital proof of ownership, a receipt. So for a musician in South Africa, it's a way to sell their song directly to a fan, proving that fan owns a real, authentic piece of their art. It's a game changer for creative freedom, letting them bypass all those old-school industry gatekeepers. Okay, so these stories they're really inspiring, right? And this is a big but, we have to be real here. This is not some perfect fairy tale. The road is full of major risks. We have to balance all this exciting hype with the serious hurdles that people are dealing with every single day. And this really lays it all out, the promise versus the peril. For every exciting promise of financial freedom, you've got the very real risk of a government suddenly cracking down. For every story about connecting to the global economy, there's the brutal reality of price swings that can wipe out your life savings overnight. And yeah, you can bypass the old gatekeepers, but now you have to watch out for a whole new world of scams. It is a really, really high-stakes game.
So, let's zoom out for a second. When you put all these pieces together, the incredible innovation, the desperate need, and all the risks, what are we actually seeing? Well, we're watching something amazing unfold in real time. It's the birth of a whole new financial ecosystem, built literally from the ground up.
And if there's one thing you take away from all this, let it be this. What's happening in Africa isn't some trend they just copied from Silicon Valley. This isn't Wall Street's game. This is a true digital revolution, and it's born from something so much more powerful, so much more human. It comes from necessity, from pure ingenuity, and from that fundamental, undeniable desire to be free. And that leaves us with one last big question to chew on. So much of the crypto talk around the world is about one thing: profit, getting rich. But what happens when that same technology is built and twisted and adopted, not for profit, but for pure survival? Well, the answer to that question, it's being written as we speak. One wallet, one transaction, one community at a time. Thanks for watching.